What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the FTI Podcast, episode 17, I think. I'm just going to go with it. 17. Sounds like a good number.
Yeah, I haven't kept track.
Oh, man, these earbuds are different.
Am I way loud in your ears or something?
No, it was just weird because they're very, isolating, but it feels weird to have two in because it feels like it's too muffled.
Yeah.
And it's also weird because normally when I have them plugged in, I have them plugged in directly to my mic so I can actually hear myself.
Yeah.
And
well,
so I
don't
can't
know
hear
how
myself.
I don't know how you do a monitor because that would drive me up a wall.
Well, the good thing is there's no delay.
I hate hearing my own voice in a way like that.
Oh. Look at us. We're already off the rails. So, Chris, I think this is the longest time away that I've spent 3 days away from you in probably a month or more.
Don't worry. The day after tomorrow, we'll spend another 36 hours together. So
yay. We can go get Stromboli together.
Yeah, that's what I'm most excited about this weekend.
Since the good people over there at Mid-Ohio didn't have the Strombolis.
I did eat 2 giant pieces of pizza, though, and that may be why I missed the middle of Saturday taking pictures. Going through my pictures, I'm like, why am I missing a bunch on Saturday? And that might have been when I went and sat in my car's AC for an hour and then met up with your family for a little bit. And yeah, that might have been it. Was just the half a pizza I ate. I mean, they were double slices into one because I didn't see the slice. It wasn't like one of those ones where they have them in the warming trays and all that kind of stuff. So I walked up and I was like, oh, yeah. Can I get 2 slices of pepperoni and a Dr. Pepper? And they were like, yeah, sure. And then I see them open the lid of the pizza box and I was like, oh, that's a lot of pizza. But I had already paid. So I was just like, well, I'm no quitter. And just ate 2 massive pieces of pizza.
Were they at least was it a decent price for them? Or
I think I paid $14 for 2 slices of pizza and a drink.
I mean, it's not bad if they were gigantic.
Yeah. It was a little more than I wanted to. Maybe if they were $5 a piece. But it was well, this sucks, but oh well. I'm hungry. I'm at the track. I didn't feel like going to the media center to get a meal ticket. And
that is what I did Saturday. I went over to the media center and got one because I just spent most of my day Saturday. I did the practice 2, went back to the comm center. I think I did Indy Next qualifying, and I don't think I did a lot of actual INDYCAR qualifying. So I think I was pretty shot by that point in the day. It's just annoyed with things.
Yeah. Saturday was definitely a weird day. Well, let's start with the weekend in general. So met up Thursday and, going down there all week, the weather looked like garbage. I mean, we were texting back and forth all week that, man, this could be a wet one. All over social media, everyone's like, "Ooh, prepare for a wet and wild Mid-Ohio." And I mean, we ended up with great weather all weekend.
Could have been. I mean, it was a lot drier than our previous weekend at Mid-Ohio. Well, at least one day it was soggy.
Yeah,
super soggy. But yeah, every day it just, and then we had the smog.
Yeah,
up here in Akron, we had the Canadian fire smoke, and which it was a little hazy Thursday when we got down there, but I think it pretty much dissipated by Friday, which was nice.
But that was a little wild thing. And we were about to have a crazy ass weather situation this weekend, and thank God it ended up cleared out because I don't know if I could have done another wet weekend.
Yeah, I mean, just based on what we dealt with on Sunday evening, I think no. I would have been like, okay, we're leaving.
Yeah. But yeah, Friday, practice day, everything practice. Anything? Well, yeah, I mean, there was Saturday. Saturday was the big thing.
No, that was Saturday.
Like I said, the whole weekend's kind of a blur.
It just well, that might be what we did in the evenings there. That kind of blurred it all.
Well, that and like I think one of the problems is my memory card situation. It worked, but I haven't been working in order. So, instead of going off of like what I shot, like just doing Porsche, just doing NXT, just doing INDYCAR, I've just been kind of all over the place. Plus, just I'm on vacation this week, just doing other things. Yesterday I'd sit down, edit for a while, get up and clean up my room a little bit, and then I'd go make some food, and then I'd get stuck watching something on TV. So yeah, I just have been all over the place. So I think that's what kind of contributes to like this all just being a blur.
Yeah, my biggest like thing that is like the hardest is just getting all the cropping of the pictures.
Yeah.
Like that is literally what takes me the most time. What am I looking for?
Yeah,
Don't
a lot
mind
of mine is just going through and finding the ones I want. Carl will go by and I'll do a 5 or 6 burst on it. And then I have to sit there and go through and find which one of the 5 or 6 I like the best. So it ends up going back and forth between, I'm just back and forth between 2 pictures trying to figure out which one I like more. And then going through and applying the presets I like we were talking before. I've kind of narrowed it down to 2 different presets of just really we talked about it over the weekend. I tend to like really dark pictures. All of my pictures tend to look very,
you like your pictures like you like your soul.
Yeah, they're all very dark and emo. So sometimes it's but I think that's my most time consuming thing. It's just kind of going through and picking the ones. And we've talked about it before that I'm so particular about all of my pictures that I just won't post. I won't post just anything. If it's not completely in focus or it's not a perfect shot, I'm not posting it.
Well, we all know that I am not the same way. But I see all these other people's work and I'm like, okay, well, and I'm not talking just like regular, these guys that do it on the weekend or people like us that aren't. We're professional, but we're not
the
professionals. We're not professionals yet. But I see these people that do it for teams and that do it for series and sponsors and everything. And I see their work and I'm like, okay, this picture is no different than what they would put out. What most of the professionals in the same sphere that we are putting out. And yes, you should try to be better or stand out, but screw it, they're making money. So
well, and that was kind of a topic I thought of. I know you had a lot of very good experiences with blue vests when you went to Detroit. What was your experience with the blue vests this weekend?
I for the most part, I know after the incident on Saturday happened, um, which we haven't gotten to yet, and I will not say yet. When that happened, I was going over to the North Woods over there at Mid Ohio on the inside of the S's. Uh, and there was a group of like 3 blue vests, and they were all pretty cool. And most of them that I've met, like just being in like the comm center or whatever,
Yeah.
or ones that I've probably seen previously from Detroit, um, they were all pretty cool. Like I would see them later in the day or the next day, and they would, wave or say hi and
Yeah.
stuff. And even some of the ones that were working for teams or whatever, like they were wearing like branded kit and everything. They were all pretty cool. I mean, there was just kind of one blue vest that was kind of but
Well,
I didn't really interact with them,
yeah.
just because I didn't want to, because based on just how their demeanor was, I didn't really care for them, which was sad because I like their content. I like the
Yeah,
stuff they
that's
make.
kind of what brought this up is like there were so many friendly people there. I think 95%. There was a couple red vests that were
Yeah.
a little snooty, we'll say.
Yeah, there's a particular one that was working for an Indy Next team that was kind of
But we're all out there doing the same thing. No one is better than anybody else. Yeah, and that's kind of the things I got. Like some of the blue vests were the friend. I think more blue vests said hi, how are you, things like that as you walk past each other than some of the red vests did.
yeah.
Now, I have a favorite red vest that has been at the last 2 events. Do you know who it is?
Oh, is it the older gentleman?
Yes, the older gentleman with his little chair and his big
Yes.
lens.
He is so nice.
He will tell you the best shots. He will tell you where to go. You know, he is the nicest guy. And every time I see him, I light up because he's a lot of fun. But yeah, let's move on to Saturday. The big event of the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for the most part the weekend was pretty calm, except for it seemed to be a theme this year. Indy cars like to take flight. And that was definitely probably the biggest flight of the year. I didn't know Simon Pagino was a pilot.
I thought
Apparently he is
Grosjean
now.
was the only one with a pilot
I
license, but
thought Grosjean was a pilot, or Rossi was a pilot. I think Rossi has a helicopter license. But yeah, that was unfortunately neither of us saw it actually happen.
I
got pictures of it.
I probably had 3 or 4 people message me, "Did you see this?" And I'm pretty sure we discussed this, that I was gonna start in the inside of the S's. But I decided, no, I don't feel like carrying my bike over the bridge or going the long way around. And went, oh, I'll start over on the inside of the carousel. And sure
Wait,
enough,
do you know where I was starting?
where were you
The
at?
outside of the carousel.
Oh yeah, because I think I saw you go the other way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then I heard it. So I listened to we've started listening to the race control. And I heard something going on over in turn 5. And so I got on my scooter and just hauled ass to try to get over there to get a glimpse of what was going on. And that's probably where I should have started, was in the Northwoods, where I headed.
My entire plan was to use the big lens and shoot down into turn 5 there, because I wanted them coming down turn 5 and then, up through the S's. That was my entire plan, but I was just like, nothing's going to happen. It's just practice. It's just practice.
Did you end up getting shots from inside the carousel?
Then yes.
Because there's an amazing shot. I don't know if you got to it, but it's just one of the black painted spots
on the back
if you
side.
go. Yeah, if you're going towards Thunder Valley, and then you can get them coming like through the little
up and
S
around
section.
the hill.
Yeah. It's a I found that this weekend, and because I just really have never. This was the first time I've ever been on the inside of the carousel, which I really like it.
Yeah, I think. See, and that's one of the problems with the outside S's for me is it's about the only good shot there.
Yeah.
Well,
there's a couple black holes, like black fence spots that you can get, like coming down the S's.
Yes.
Which are pretty good. And then there's a couple different angles you can get of that. But you want the long shot, or you want the close-up pan coming over the crest.
Yeah,
which unfortunately they had a freaking jib there, so that was annoying.
Yeah, I ended up getting some shots in practice too, outside of that like Thunder Valley curve, which is right here on my computer screen.
It's such a good shot.
I'd pull my hard drive. Yeah, I think coming out of the carousel is the best shot over there. At just past pit lane as they're about to go into that last turn before the front straight.
Oh, are you talking about because I just found out on Sunday that there was a photo hole over there.
Yeah.
Closer to where the comm center is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know there was one there. And then I found it and I was like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's been one of my favorite places to shoot the last 2 years. I got a lot of good of the trucks there last year. And then some good stuff this weekend with INDYCAR, but the INDYCARs are just kind of weird to shoot.
Yeah, it's always like one part will be in focus. I have a lot of pictures of the car head on with the rear wing in full focus.
Yeah, it's
lovely, or I'll have like just like the front wing.
Well, you know what, you have to do the artsy Instagram shots. I know how much you hate those, but
Ugh.
I have a couple that I have saved and set aside for you.
See, I don't know how these guys, and I'm sure there's a way, and I'm probably going to go and try to download on some of these people's things to see if I can't pull the metadata to see what settings they were using. Actually, I'm probably sure that I could just message these people and ask them. But they're also, like the lead photographers for INDYCAR.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how they get the shot where like there's a whole bunch of cars in focus, or like a whole person is in focus and it's close up and their whole body and everything is in focus, and then the background's blurred. How is your focus point allowing you to do that?
It's because they have a $9,000 camera.
Well, yeah.
Well, let me tell you the difference between using like 51 points on my 7100 as opposed to 51 points on my 810 is night and day difference.
How many points does your 810 have?
It's 51.
Oh, okay.
But it's night and day difference on the two of them. That's why I keep going.
Yeah, it was weird when I did use your camera on Saturday evening to go get some exclusive shots of Connor Daly suited up. It was so weird using that thing. It's like I have no clue where anything is on here.
Yeah, it's
which is crazy that these cameras can be so. I get it. That one it's a full frame, so it's
But
less
you would think
prosumer.
the buttons and everything would be in the same spot. You would think some of the stuff would kind of, it would be because they're about released in the same era. I
Yeah,
think they're only a few years apart. So you would think they would be, like some of the buttons and some of the ways you do things would be about in the same areas. But you should watch me try and go back and forth sometimes. I probably look like the biggest idiot trying to switch between cameras sometimes because my 810, I need to go through the settings, but for some reason it'll stay on preview of your last pictures or something forever. So there'll be a lot of times I'm trying to switch between modes or switch shutter or this or that, and it's just scrolling through the pictures. I'm trying to do something real quick and it's
really.
just scrolling through the pictures. If you watch me take pictures, you'll have to pay attention this weekend. Oh yeah, I was trying to play with video today.
Oh yes, video on a DSLR is so much fun.
If you watch me, sometimes you'll see me use my nose or use my lips to get out of preview mode. Because when I've got this and the big lens on it, it's so heavy. I'm holding it like this. Moving this hand back to do it just doesn't work. So I'll just hit it with my nose, cancel that preview mode, and do what I need to do. Oh yeah, I'm probably hilarious to watch because I'm using my lips and my nose and all of that stuff to mess around with settings because I've done something silly or stupid. Or this weekend with all of the cloud coverage when things would change when I'm trying to do high shutter stuff. Oh yeah, there was times 1 minute you'd be shooting at 2000 and then the next it wants 640 because it's so cloudy outside.
Yeah,
So
it was.
there was
It was
times this
such
weekend.
a annoying weekend with the cloud cover, and like every lap it's a different.
Yeah, it was.
I just shot in shutter priority and just let the camera figure that out this weekend because I was like, there's no way that I'm gonna
Yeah.
try. And then I was using a polarizer to try to combat the shine of the arrow screen.
Did that work for you at all?
I think it did. I
Okay,
think I
because
got a lot more
I
clearer
have
images,
one.
and you can kind of see the helmet
I have
better.
one. Forgot to. I only have one for my. I only have a 77 millimeter. I couldn't get a 95 in time. Completely forgot to put it on all weekend. Would think about it at nighttime when we were hanging out doing nothing. Forgot to put it on all weekend. But yeah. Oh, and then to continue the Saturday, hot, cloudy, sunny. It was just another. It was a very wet weekend in the terms of just humidity.
Oh yeah,
I mean, just humid.
wet as in we were sweating to death.
Yeah, I mean, just Ohio weather. I think we talked about this. Was it Saturday? Yeah, when we were talking how much water we drink. And
Yeah, I barely drank any water
I
the
think I
whole
had
weekend,
7 bottles of water just on Saturday. That was
but my
during the
alcohol
day.
had water in it. So
Plus, was it Friday or Saturday? I think it was Friday night that I was shotgunning.
yeah, that was Friday night.
Yeah. Because I really am a race fan. If I wasn't working the event, I would be the guy from the Indy 500 video. Which at NRA we just kept yelling at each other, but super hot. And then Pato both days, practice 1 and 2 led fastest lap on both of them. As I'm walking up to the horseshoe, or not the horseshoe, the keyhole, Saturday for qualifying. It was qualifying. As I'm walking up, qualifying's what? I think it had been maybe 90 seconds it had gone on. They got maybe one warm-up lap in. As I'm walking through the gate into the keyhole, I watch Pato spin out and park it in the grass. Did I have my camera ready?
Nope.
No, I did not. Was my camera on like 60th of a second? Yes, it was. So I was just one of those guys, like, after the spin out or wreck happens, I'm just taking pictures of him sitting in the grass. And I was just like, it figures all weekend. We have a running joke that a wreck could happen right in front of us and we're both looking left, or I'm looking left, you're looking right. Every single time. We keep talking about the Jamie Price emergency button, the recall button, or that we both still haven't figured out how to set up, but we don't need to set it up because we're going to be looking the wrong direction every single time.
Every time. Well, what I've kind of started doing is, so my emergency button that I use is just user 1, the U1 mode, and I'll just flip to it and it's already set to 100 ISO, and then its shutter priority already set to like 800.
Yeah, my problem is mine's all only in a mode button.
Oh, that sucks.
But yeah, I mean, that was a little bummy, and blah blah blah. And then on to Sunday, Mid Ohio really giving the mid there race wise.
Oh, you're not the first one to use
I was gonna say I heard it on
week.
YouTube all week.
Because I heard it from this one guy who normally does F1 content, but he's now doing INDYCAR comedy reviews.
We've talked about it before, but his videos are so fucking cringe.
Yeah.
This one wasn't as bad, I don't think. But
are you talking about FP1?
Yeah.
Will?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry to name drop it.
Usually
maybe I'll bleep it.
It's pretty cringe. This one, like, I think the race was so just a race, just, in terms of everything else, just a decent race, nothing crazy, no, big controversies, this or that. I don't think he couldn't pull anything out of it. Just, Polo wins again, and the Swedes get into a wreck the first lap. And
yeah, how does Polo get away with just punting Kirkwood?
Well, and then bringing up the Swedes there, again, I was going to start the race in the S's at the bottom of the hill right there. But I didn't feel like bringing my bike all the way around. Because for the listeners, I have an electric bike that weighs probably about 30 pounds, and I put my cameras in a basket on the back of it, and it's quite awkward to carry up. The bridge is probably like 7 to 10 steps on one side and then 5 or 6 on the other, and it's very awkward to carry up that bridge. The bridge is only 2 people wide. During the race, I don't know, did you go over the bridge during the race?
I don't think I went over the bridge at all this weekend.
Okay, during the race, there are people trying to take videos through the cracks of the floor of the bridge.
Oh, jeez.
So here's me. I'm trying to cover all of this. And there's just people crouched down, holding their phones through the cracks of the bridge as I'm trying to like scoot away so I can go cover the last, I think there was 15 laps at that point, and I still wanted to get to the inside of the carousel and then back around to my favorite spot at Mid-Ohio. And yeah, there's just people trying to take video there, and I'm like, move out of my way so I can get through.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to do a job here, like.
But yeah, and then my favorite spot, if any of you ever have credentials for Mid-Ohio or even a pit or paddock pass, get on top of the garage, low speed pans across the front stretch with the pit boxes, the antennas, and all.
Ooh,
The
that
only
would be
place,
a good one for this weekend, because the garages are not going to be very busy.
I don't know,
because you have to be,
nope, it's too dark. I was gonna say there's a Ben Rhodes picture up on the wall.
No, but for the start, since they're
Yeah.
going to start on the front stretch, get the start as a slow pan.
Okay, so we're gonna plan our weekend live on the show today. You start there, and I'm going to the damn S's. But yeah, this weekend you start there, and I'm going to the S's because I'm not missing that this weekend.
I know, and there's probably going to be something that happens there.
You know what's going to happen? It's going to happen in the keyhole because I always start in the keyhole.
So it's going to always be where you're not.
Yes. But yeah, during the race, I mean, I don't know, decent race. I enjoyed it. And with us, I mean, your dad kind of made fun of us this weekend where, we're just running around taking pictures and everything. But I mean,
yeah, he was like, what? So you get pictures of cars on track like you just did yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're trying to catch if something happens,
Yeah, the race was mid, but let me go to this. Ohio really shows up for INDYCAR.
Oh yeah. It was even more packed this year than it was last year.
That I have a picture somewhere of the hill there right before the S's turn 5 and all that. It was packed this year.
Yeah, I didn't realize how packed it was until I was on the outside of the S's to or inside, whatever it is, inside over by the hill, turn 5. And I know, and I looked up, I was like, holy crap, that's a lot of people.
I'm so glad I got the any pictures inside of the S's this weekend before the race, because I always feel super judged if I'm there, right there with everyone at my back. But I do have to say, everyone like I've ever experienced with my back to them, they'll cheer you on as you're one of the guys racing. Now, everyone's had their libations and, everyone's
Mr. Photographer.
Yeah, everyone's in a good mood, but they'll cheer you on like you're out there on the track yourself.
Yeah, get that shot.
Did you get anything good?
Yeah, so that was really prevalent in Detroit when I went, just because most of the track was open to the public for free. And so,
well, and I think too, that just comes with anyone being at a racetrack. Everyone's there for a good time. Everyone's there for the same thing. Everyone's having a good time. And then you add, with a lot of these tracks, bringing your own alcohol and, food and this and that. Everyone's there for a cheap, good time. If you're just there for race day, it's what, $50-$60 for a ticket. You can bring a cooler full of beer or whatever your drink of choice is, and you have a good time.
Yeah, it's really weird because for me, it's one of the only places that I've been, and maybe some other tracks are like this, I have no clue. But a lot of tracks, you get through the parking gate, and then you have to go through an admission gate. And
Yeah.
at Mid-Ohio, you just go through the parking gate. You park and you're in. You whatever you brought in your car is now in there, and you can take with you.
This is my experience from Michigan is you're allowed an, X dimension by X dimension cooler. They check and look inside. And I mean, the last couple of years I've gone to Michigan, I've brought more beer than I'm ever going to drink in that time into the track with me. And racing is one of the best values for your dollar. And that leads me to something, since we're from the infield, all of this, that brings me to like something I've thought about the last couple of days is the value for your family going as fans and the experience like your kids had, your dad had, with just the added paddock pass.
Yeah, so my dad actually bought a pit pass this year, and along with his paddock pass, and then my whole family had paddock passes. And I mean, the stuff like this was after everything was over on Sunday, but my 13-year-old got a hug from Pato Award and melted her heart. And my dad was sitting there taking Facebook lives from pit lane.
Those are I'd love because they're so dad, because they're
he's probably like this, just like, oh, this is cool,
this is so cool.
And it's almost so bad that, like, I don't know if you're like this, but like I'm to the point where I'm just like, oh, it's a car. Like when I'm around like an INDYCAR or something, I'm like, it's a car. Or I see a pit stop, I'm like, it's a pit stop. There's nothing spectacular about that.
Yeah, we talked about it over the weekend. Did either of us really go into the paddock during the day? Because I know I did.
No. I mean, just to go to the media center.
Yeah, I had a very chill weekend when it came to things. Like for the most part, I took the pictures I needed. I would go find somewhere in the shade, or like go Saturday. I took my car into the infield. I think did we on Friday too? I don't know. I took my car into the infield and just
I didn't take anything in. Friday or Saturday.
Sat in my car. I know Saturday because I was getting real hot and overheated, so I sat in my car for about an hour in the AC. Got out and
you could have come sit next to me in the comm center.
The comm center was all the way over there. This was right after I ate my pizza.
Across a parking lot.
It was all the way over there, and then my car was
across one field.
Oh no! I took my vest off and went and bought something in the INDYCAR
store.
Yeah, and then
which you're not wearing any of it.
I mean,
you don't have any of it
at the Racer's Edge tent or whatever it was. But this is IMSA merch because we don't get IMSA this year. I'm half tempted to apply for the September one because I think that's my birthday weekend at Indianapolis.
That would be really cool.
But yeah, I think I ended up like I got out of my car and was like, oh, I'm gonna go take pictures, and saw your Ranger like 50 feet away from me, and I was like, oh, I'll go see how they're doing. And then your 13-year-old stole my bike for a little bit. She was obsessed with that thing. She was like, hey, can I go ride your bike around in a circle? And I was like, yeah, sure. Because it was like in between like USF and stuff. So I wasn't that worried about it. But yeah, I mean, overall, pretty good weekend. I mean, we had fun. Sunday, as the race concluded, Mother Nature said, I'm done holding off on you.
She was done holding her rein.
Yeah, so it started. We're all sitting back at your camper. I'm tent camped right next to the camper. And it started sprinkling, so I like grabbed my stuff and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna sit in my tent for a couple minutes and clean up, get ready, so we can have a dinner and all that kind of stuff. And my tent like inhaled and then exhaled. And next thing I knew, the rain cover blew off and it just started pouring down rain on top of me. All of my stuff, everything. Thankfully, when it started sprinkling, I threw my cameras and stuff in my car.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, it was like that with the rain. All weekend, great weather.
And then we were trying to get the canopy down on the or the awning on the motorhome put away so it didn't get ripped off because it was a brand new one that my parents had just put on. And then we were getting soaked, and then I think my mom was like, Chris is trying to get his stuff.
You come so around the corner and it's just me and my rain jacket just standing there. Just and then to top it all off, as soon as we got it all cleaned up, it stopped raining.
Yeah. And then it started raining on the way home.
Yeah, it was. Wait, did you guys hit rain on the way home?
Yeah, it started raining when we got home.
Oh, I hit maybe slight sprinkles as I came into Akron, but that was it.
Yeah, it definitely rained.
Yeah, I don't think I got anything. And I think I already answered the question, but I did not pull a favorite videographer and get Pizza Hut. I ended up with Taco Bell.
Ooh, I don't know why you go when you have to drive right past Wadsworth, why you get Pizza Hut when there's a great pizza shop there in Wadsworth.
Because I can Pizza Hut I just get off at Manchester Road.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think overall pretty good weekend. I think we're both really developing our abilities. I do think from now on we really should. It got a lot of warm reception is sharing our things in the Mid-Ohio group.
Oh yeah, that.
I mean,
we're almost like celebrities in there now.
Yeah, we got invited into one of the announcers things this
even
weekend.
Though NASCAR said don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, we had that meeting today. NASCAR is way stricter than INDYCAR, guys.
They are the most strict out of any,
which I mean,
trucks, which I don't understand.
Some of the stuff with the paddock and stuff, I understand. With like the don't take pictures of things in the garage of engines and wheels off, because there are things that the team still, especially with the trucks and stuff, they still have some free range to tweak and do their own things with. So you don't want the F1 spy photography shit happening in NASCAR as it did in trucks. So but
yeah, and there's no fans, so
yeah, there's
which
zero.
I think is weird that there's no fans allowed
spy
when at a normal NASCAR track.
Well, there'll be fans for the grid walk, I think. But no, this weekend will definitely, and that'll bring me to my one complaint for this weekend, is the NASCAR schedule of things. We don't have a lot of time to take pictures this weekend. So we'll have to strategize of like, because I think there's only half hour of practice and there's very short time for qualifying.
Ew.
So,
and then the race is only like I don't. So how is one of the races longer than the other if they're both 150s? Is it because of the stage?
No, I think I don't know. I was gonna say maybe one's miles and one's kilometers, but
because one's 47 or 40 some laps, the other one's 60 some laps.
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. ARCA, there'll be 6 fast cars. Maybe Malcolm will win it out, but
dude, that would be freaking amazing.
There are 3 or 4.
Honestly, that is who I'm most excited to see this whole weekend. Is freaking Frankie Muniz.
That's the only car I'm going to be photographing during ARCA. I hope you know. But
I mean, if he wins the championship, he has to get a truck ride.
He's got the money to. He's probably got the money to buy into a good truck ride. But
he's gonna replace. He's gonna join Thor Sport.
Replace Haley.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited for this weekend. I don't know. I'm not. I am excited because I am a NASCAR person, but also I kind of hate how short everything is this weekend.
It's just after just from seeing the schedule and what you kind of said about it, IndyCar, it's a packed day. It's tons of stuff going on.
Vintage 2 weeks ago, there's something going on at all times. And then this week, we'll have by Sunday, Saturday into Sunday, the only thing we'll have is just race pictures, the truck race to edit, because we'll have so much downtime, everything will be edited.
Yeah. I mean, the schedule, it's mostly just track calibration times.
Here's my complaint with all of this too is NASCAR owns IMSA. You couldn't bring me MX5 Cup. You couldn't bring Lamborghini Cup. You couldn't bring, we couldn't get a USAC Porsche Cup again, or Porsche Challenge again this weekend.
I don't know why they why USF juniors.
Yeah, it's just
bring something good.
I'm really mad I don't get to see the Miatas this year because I am a Miata owner. I just want to see the MX5 Cup. But
could you imagine? And I don't think they would have enough room at Mid-Ohio, but a cup race at Mid-Ohio.
Well, they discussed this. It was on Door Bumper Clear, I think, last year, that there's just not the infrastructure around. There's not enough hotels for people to stay at and things like that.
How? IndyCar does.
Yes.
I think you would have it. If IndyCar can do it,
NASCAR
can do it.
It was also Brett Griffin saying it, so who knows? We won't bring that one up.
I hate how NASCAR, they just have the TV ratings, pretty much. But IndyCar at Mid-Ohio is probably as packed as that place can get.
Well, okay, so that just brought something up, and we got about 10 minutes before I have to close out the show today. Sorry, it's a short one, guys, but that brings up something I was thinking about. We talked about it with shout out to him, Kart Chaser.
Well, no, he's Racing Nation TV.
Yeah,
he works for Kart Chaser.
Yeah, but we talked about it with him is that and we've talked about it on here before, that these teams, these events, these tracks, they don't utilize social media how they should. I saw Pato's social media girl on the other side of the fence this weekend.
Without a photo vest?
Without a photo vest. No, she was on the fan side of the fence.
Okay. Why don't they give her a photo vest?
Even if she's recording on the phone, we all saw how McLaren decked out their people this weekend. Why is she on the fan side of the fence taking videos?
Yeah. When other teams have people that are all over the place with vests. I mean, they have like the one McLaren photographer, because I've seen him at all the INDYCAR events I've been. It's just the one. It's the same guy. It's like, just, can somebody else?
Yeah, it was just
get a photo vest and make something.
It was just I saw that and I was just kind of like, why is she over there? Why is she not here? I was standing right before turn 9, whatever it is, into Thunder Valley. I think that's turn 9. And she's just standing on the spectator fence. And I'm just like, what? Why aren't you over here?
Yeah. Like,
but yeah, I just,
excuse me, ma'am, but you work for a team.
Yeah, in conclusion of the weekend at INDYCAR, if you're a fan that's never been, go.
Oh yeah,
even
definitely
if it's just for the
tickets,
one day. Get
your tickets early, like in February. Plan it out, because they're even cheaper in February.
Yeah.
If you have a camper and you want to go all 3 days, get a camping pass.
Get a tent.
If you have a tent,
go out in a tent.
Yeah.
Because before the monsoon that got us on Sunday, my tent was great. You pull the little window flaps down a little bit, you get some breeze going through, and it was great. But yeah, get your tickets. If you're a brave soul, go out and camp.
Get a paddock pass. It's cheap.
Number one, get a paddock pass.
Like, that is a necessity. Buy a paddock pass. If you're 18 and older, get a pit pass. If you think you can behave yourself, get a pit pass. and literally, the times that we were walking through the paddock, these drivers are just walking around or riding their scooters around.
I mean, and if you look on the Mid-Ohio Facebook group, look how many people it's like
it's just people getting selfies with.
I was gonna say, it's the handful of people who brought their cameras, posting their pictures, and then people complaining about the bathroom situation, and people posting selfies with drivers.
And if you're camping,
they drive around.
The Honda drivers will drive around. And if it's an INDYCAR event, there's a good chance that bus bros are probably going to stop. I didn't see them out, but I saw some pictures of them out.
Yeah, bus bros were out.
Literally, it was, I think, Stingray Rob and David Lucas were going around, and then it was Jack Harvey and Graham Rahal, and I think Bobby Rahal was going around too.
Yeah, Bobby was going, which is weird that Bobby wasn't with Graham,
his son.
Yeah.
But they were those drivers, the Rahals, were giving out, the 1/18th diecast cars to kids for free.
Yes,
and then dual signed.
Adults, we all got hats and koozies.
Oh yeah, okay. So these, let me tell you about the koozie situation, because apparently they were just trying to get rid of these, and literally Rahal's staff gave my family probably 3 or 4 stacks of koozies. Like, if you want a Graham Rahal koozie, I got you one. Because
bring me a few this weekend, because I only ended up with one of them.
Yeah, they literally like threw a whole bunch into the bed of the side by side. And then there were people going around giving out last year's Honda bags, and they were giving out, the cooling towels, and then these are the hats that they were giving out, the Honda drivers, which are pretty good hats. They're nice.
They're the nice, like cool technology.
They're like a
athletic
performance hats and stuff. They're a lot nicer than the Type R ones that they gave out last year. Those were absolute garbage.
Wait,
these
they
are
were giving
like
out Type R hats last year?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Yeah, they were giving out these. Sorry, this one is signed. I don't know who signed it, but it's signed.
But yeah,
that might be Simon Pashno and Elio Castroneves.
I'm a Honda boy at heart. But wrapping up, I got about 5 minutes. How would you say your weekend was?
It was a great time. I had a lot of fun, and I continued networking with people. You always get those old newspaper guys that are there, and they're real fun. I got to meet up with some of the people that I met in Detroit, so that was cool. And then just networked with some other people that aren't afraid of going into the dirt world. So I met a few people that work in the dirt world, and so that was cool. How was your weekend?
It was pretty good. I am definitely the more antisocial of our group. It was really cool meeting Kyle from Kart Chaser, or Kyle 2 as we referred to him all weekend. He's been a long time Twitter follow of mine, so like definitely another one. But yeah, fun weekend of hanging out, getting a lot of really cool pictures. I'll say this a million times over. I'll take this to the grave with me. Race fans are the nicest people in the world. Last NASCAR, you'll probably get this a lot this weekend. I've never been offered more food and drinks than I did last year at NASCAR.
Really?
Yeah,
just by random people?
Literally standing in the photo pit, I made friends with this one family sitting there. He must have offered me a beer and a brat every time I walked by all day. No matter how many times I said no, I'd walk by and he'd be like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. I can't do any of that stuff." All right, well, when you're done, come around and get one. And then in the campgrounds was the same thing. So yeah, if my word of advice to anybody, if you're going to a race and you have the ability to do it, is to camp there.
Oh, it is. It's
another experience.
At places like Mid Ohio, they do fireworks.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we
on Saturday night they have fireworks and stuff, and some tracks do even more. Plus it's just you're hanging out, everyone's having a good time.
Everyone's there for the same thing.
Yeah, you're all there to enjoy racing and watch racing and drink, and have a great time. And you will if you do not have a great time,
you're trying not to.
Yeah, you did something wrong if you did not have a good time. Because even if the racing's crap, you're going to have a wonderful time.
Even if the racing at Mid Ohio is mid, you're going to have a great time.
Oh. I'm the dad. You're not supposed to make the jokes.
Yeah. Wrapping up trucks this week, I may also go to the Lou Blaney Memorial All-Star Circuit of Champions because I'm a crazy person.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking about doing that too.
It's 2 hours.
I didn't send it to you for my health,
It's I saw it yesterday because I was originally going to go to Wayne County, and then I saw that All Stars had posted that, and I was like, crap, I forgot that it was this weekend. And I started figuring out the times, and I'm like, I could probably make it there by race time. So
we might be sweaty and gross, but we'll take pictures.
But yeah, I mean, anything else for the week? I'm sorry, I got to cut this short this week, but
no, I think that's all. What we'll do, we'll hit you up. We're gonna hopefully, if we remember, we're gonna make some videos this weekend.
yes.
And so maybe we'll do our fantasy picks and everything this weekend from the racetrack.
Live at the track.
If we can get the Wi-Fi to work.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it for me this week, I think.
We'll see you guys next week with our final Mid-Ohio recap of our 3-week in a row stint. And that's all.
All right. See you next week.
All right.
Well, I'll see you in 2 days, but
yeah, you'll see me in 2 days. You'll see everyone else. Never.
All right. See ya.